Hi, this is Byron Collins with Collins Epic Wargames. Welcome to our gameplay example video for Spearpoint 43 Eastern Front. We're going to start with a game in progress with a few units in play as well for both sides. Let's take a look at what we've got. Germans have a rifle squad and a second rifle squad, as well as a Tiger 1. And the Russians have two rifle squads, one green and one regular, as well as a T-34 with a veteran tank crew. So with those units in play, we're going to go ahead and start the first phase, which is commitment. We also have a couple of hands there that I'm showing you for both players. So at the beginning of the turn, you're going to roll initiative. Both players roll a d10. The highest number wins. In this case, the Germans get initiative, and that means they do every action first in each phase. For commitment, the German player will bring in the rifle squad from his hand, as well as a command card called Hardened to give that squad a bonus. The Russians have nothing to commit at this time. Once commitment is done, we're ready to move on to the combat phase. The initiative winner will declare attacks first, and then the opponent will declare his attacks. And the way you do this is turn the card toward the target. You have to declare all your targets up front, so there's no change in this once it's set. And once all the targets are declared, you're ready to begin resolving some attacks. You can use some optional targeting counters to keep track of who's firing where, and you can flip those over when the targets are complete and resolved. So let's go ahead and roll some combat here. We're going to start with the initiative winner. They choose the first attack to resolve. In this case, the German player is going to choose the Tiger 1 against the T-34. To roll an attack, you need to look at the target type. In this case, it's a tank. And you look at your armament and choose a weapon that will affect that unit. In this case, the firing against the tank, I need an 11 or better normally, but I have a green crew, so I need a 12 or better to hit this tank. So I'm going to roll 2d10. It's a hit if the sum is equal to or greater than the attack value required. And then I roll damage since this is a hit, add it to the damage index, which is 8 plus 8, in this case 16, subtract any defense of the target, and I've got 11 left, and I apply that, what's left, to the target's endurance, in this case 13. Since I didn't quite kill the unit, I can optionally track that with a temporary endurance counter. Since I did pass the breakpoint, which is highlighted here, 7 of the T-34, I'm going to apply a damage card and apply the vehicle effect by tucking it underneath the T-34. There's 4 effects per damage card, and this is an effect that will immobilize the T-34 and make him less effective in combat. So we're going to go ahead and put these back on the table and resolve some other attacks. The Tiger is complete, and the T-34 is now immobilized. So you alternate resolving all remaining attacks using the same basic steps. In this case, the Russian chooses to fire his rifles and takes out one of the German rifle squads. Since that squad hasn't yet fired, his attack will not occur. Since the unit is destroyed, the Russians score 5 points, which was the cost of the rifle squad. The hardened German rifle squad takes out the green rifle squad of the Russians and scores 3 points in a similar fashion. The damaged T-34 fires at and misses the Tiger 1 with his main gun. And finally, the remaining German rifle squad attacks the regular riflemen of the Russians. They hit, but don't do enough damage to draw a damage card. So once all attacks are complete, combat ends and the draw phase begins. At the beginning of the draw phase, the Russian player does have a card to play called Stage Aircraft. And he follows the instructions of the card and can draw an aircraft and a pilot to stage that aircraft for the next turn in his hand. So he puts those in his hand and discards the command card. Now in the normal draw phase, each player draws 1 command card plus their choice of 2 additional cards, and they can be command cards from the common pile or unit cards off the top of their reserves deck. And the reserves deck is shuffled, by the way, so you don't really know what you're going to get as far as what's going to be ready for commitment or not. So you may draw a pilot without an aircraft or a tank without a tank crew. And that's part of the reason crews are separate from their tanks. It represents what's ready to come into combat. So in this case, we show what has been drawn by both players, several units as well as a couple of command cards, and that completes this turn. At the end of the turn, you remove any temporary damage counters, but not damage cards, and units return to full or half endurance depending on their state. You begin the next turn and repeat until one player wins the game.